Hi viewers, I'm Irayal and I would love to share with you that I had my presentation. I was required to submit it to my university. Let me tell you that I'm a business student of York St. John University. The research title for this research which I have conducted was Impact of Technology on Child Behavior Development and Learning. Let me tell you that this was my last class and it was my last presentation of BA Hons in Management. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed whole of the journey. Well, I was not much into business at all. I was a pre-medical student. I have conducted a couple of research studies. My first research study was on IKEA painting services as compared to other painting services in UAE. This was my first research which I conducted and seriously it made me to cry. But in all those journey, I learned and I improved myself to a great extent. Research title is Impact of Technology on Child Behavior, Development and Learning. Why is it important for you to know that? Are you interested to know this? I guess you should be. If you are a parent, then it is important for you to know what impacts the technology is having on your child. Have you ever tried to discontinue the use of technology of your child? Yes, you might did. But you might also have failed in doing that, right? This is because today's children are so much adaptive to use technology that it is affecting parent-child relationship. And here today I would like to introduce with you the few highlights of my research study and also little bit details of what I have studied and done. But if you want to go through the whole research, please let us know on A4U TV page so that you can read that material. And before I start this research, if you haven't subscribed to A4U TV, please do that and like A4U TV page on Facebook. Technology have broadened the minds of people and it's a great time saver for many. But we cannot ignore that technology is widely impacting children. This impact is positive and as well as negative. Children are the greatest blessing of God, right? And I'm sure that every one of us love to spend time with kids. But as parents, you are more responsible towards your kid. Because this is the responsibility that God have given you. And you should be aware what are the things that is impacting your child. Many studies believe that technology is important in child learning. You might allow your child to use smartphones and TVs and watch different kind of videos with the perspective that your child is learning, which is a positive insight and you're right. But have you ever given a deep thought to which extent this technology is helpful in child learning? Many studies have revealed and directly stated that use of technology does not enhance child grades or have any impact on their academic success. Look, I believe that wisdom is the gift of God. Your child might be very intelligent, but is it that technology that is helping him to gain that success? I don't think so. I believe that it is the wisdom of God and it is the help from God's side which is helping him or her to gain his success. As parents and as children and as students, we should always be thankful to God. Yes, we often think that God just helps us to grow spiritually, emotionally. But no, it's not till that extent. God is a personal God and He wants to intervene in every sector of your life. Whether it's your work life, whether it's your college life, your university life, or any sector of your life, allow God to come in that sector. And believe me, when you allow God in that part of your life, you are really going to enjoy it. You're really going to find the happiness in every part of your life. And you're going to be stress-free. Believe me, stress-free. No stress. You're not going to gain any stress. The Bible says that whatever you do, do it for the glory of God. When you believe this, that whatever you're doing is not for a human, but it is for God, you are going to gain success. And if you strongly believe on this thing of Bible, I'm sure you're going to teach the same thing to your children. And it is very important for them to know that whatever they do in their life, it should be for the glory of God. Do not let this thing come into their mind that the knowledge they have gained is due to the advanced technology. The children who do not get the early play from parents are more likely to stay moody and stressed in their coming future life. If you want your child to be healthy, it is important to spend time with them. Yes, you might be busy. Your work have made you busy, right? But it is really important to spend time with your child. The early age of the child's mind is the time when child brain is going through some changes. The child from 0 to 3 age is very sensitive to technology. But how can you spend quality time? How can your time with your children can be productive for them? I believe that's by prayer, by discussing Jesus with them, by telling them who is Jesus and what He have done for you and how He have saved your life. If you spend this quality time with such a discussion, which is really beautiful, I am sure your child will talk to you and he will open up to you. And that child is going to have number of questions that even you cannot imagine. For a strong parent-child relationship, it is really important for parents to spend quality time with their children. And only the one way of spending the quality time is by talking to them, by introducing them to Jesus, which is the best thing that you can do for your child, and loving them in the manner Christ have loved you as a child. If you think in a perspective that technology is really helpful for your child development and learning, I agree with you. Excessive use of technology is an issue that if not solved at the early age of the child, it may go for a long term. This research overall took 5 weeks to understand the topic, study the topic, and to identify the need of the topic. And I really felt that this topic which I am selecting is the need of our age today. It is need for you as a parent to understand why technology is not good to your child. When God created us, He created us healthy and beautiful and full of energy. But now, due to the use of technology, we are not active as before. People of old age were very healthy and they lived long. Why? Because in those days there was no technology. There were no smartphones. People were used to eat well, sleep well, and all of their activities were on time. Jane L.M. stresses on the social, behavior, and emotional development of the child. And all of these 3 factors are very important for the child to grow healthy. And if a child is not growing well in any of the 3 sectors, the author provides the root cause of this is poor parenting. Have you ever observed hyperactivity in your child? When I talked to different parents, they said that yes, my child is very hyperactive. I also had an opportunity to work with children and their parents came to me and they said, you have great patience to handle our child because we cannot. They give the reason of child's hyperactivity. Different authors, they measure different ages in which hyperactivity is excessively seen, and they came to one point of age that hyperactivity is excessively seen from children from age 4 to 18. Is your child in this age of range? If your child is, then be careful. Or have you ever faced any behavior misconduct from your child? I know that's a very personal question, but we have to reflect on this because this is an issue that cannot be neglected. Let me tell you, even the American Academy of Pediatrics have reported that use of technology should be limited for the child because it is having the very negative impacts on children. Did you ever play it with your child? As a father or a mother? Yes, if you are a mother, then you might spend more time with your child than the father. But you both are the parents of that single child. What have you given your child in the early age? Is that phone, tablets, video games, and social media? Is that what you gave? Or you have given them the stories of Jesus? And if you have introduced Christ to your child, then believe me, this is the best thing that you have ever done. And the reward of what you have done is not in this world. Appreciation of others is not your reward, but your reward is with God. And do you know, you are answerable to God for your child? He is the one to create that child. He's the one to create that life. Yes, you do love your child the most, but more than you, God loves your child. And God really wants every child to stay healthy and with a strong parent-child relationship. And His desire is for everyone to stay healthy and happy. When it comes to happiness, remember, He is the source of happiness. If you want to give happiness to your child, you can only give them Jesus. You You might try to give happiness to your child by different kind of things you provide. Might be that buying them a smartphone or a tablet is the happiness of your child. But why don't you give them the source of happiness, which is Jesus? If your child gets the source of happiness, believe he is going to get all of the happiness that you can ever give to your child. Child's attraction towards technology leads to poor development and also isolation from parents. By the excessive use of technology, child starts to stay isolated from parents. This isolation can be of the child from parents or you as parents isolating from your children. Due to any of the reason, might be your work. Here I would like to show you in the study of Pirate the brain of 3 years old child and how the brain have changed due to the excessive use of technology. The author emphasizes on the sensitivity of the child's brain. In easy words, the brain of 3 years old child actually squeezed due to the use of technology. And the reason why your child is so much adapted to use technology, it is because child at some point is left unattended by you as a parent. When children do not get attention from their parents, when they do not get the early play, they try to find something that gives them excitement. He might ask you for buying a smartphone or something that attracts him or her, and for fulfilling the wish of your child, you do. But the time goes on and the child gets more excitement from the use of technology rather than spending time with you. And eventually, children are seen to be isolated from parents. They try to spend time alone with their smart devices. And you know what they see is what they visualize. If they see cartoons, they're going to visualize cartoons. If they see any kind of video, they're going to visualize the same. It's important for you as a parent to check what your child is visualizing. By seeing that videos such as cartoons or anything like cartoon movies or anything that attracts them, child can undergo various kinds of emotions and may demand for various kinds of things. But when parents are not able to provide what the child have visualized, this point leads to poor parent-child attachment. Two of the authors, they conducted a study. They aimed to know that how media is attracting children. And they found out that children at very young age, they cannot differentiate between reality and fantasy. Cartoons are just a fantasy. It's not the reality. Children are really found to such called as Supermans, and they ask you to buy the things which Superman uses or whatsoever, and you do. The child thinks that he is a Superman. But instead of this fantasy of cartoon, why don't you introduce your child with the reality? And you know what is the reality? The reality is the love of Christ. It is not a fantasy. It is not till just in your imagination. It is real. Jesus is real. And if you introduce Jesus to your child, he is going to visualize Jesus in his or her life. And your child is going to develop a strong relationship with Jesus since childhood. Some parents also do complain of the late sleeping and eating habits of the child. If you do not allow your child to use smartphone, that child may go and look forward to TV. Study of MEN studied that how TV is affecting child sleeping and eating habits. And I think it's not going to be specifically TV only. Smartphones are TV themselves nowadays. But the author stresses upon how the theory of the mind and executive function of the mind is changing in child with excessive use of technology. And if you are God-fearing parents, it is really important for you to understand the impacts of technology on your child. Because technology is not only impacting the behavior of your child, it is also impacting the health of your child and eventually your parent-child relationship. I asked parents that how much time does your child spend on technology such as smartphones or TV or any kind of such device each day. And the responses which I got that 47.1% spend at least 2 to 3 hours and 19.6% spend 9+ hours using technology as a child. What do you think? This spending of at least even 2 or 3 hours is really healthy for your child? I don't think so. It is sad, but it is true. 70.6% of children role plays their favorite character, which means that they actually act like a cartoon. They live like a cartoon. And they do everything what a cartoon does. Can you imagine how the cartoon character have affected the psychology of your child? Children are very good observers. What they see is what they believe and they practice. Have you ever taken a note of how much time do you yourself spend on technology? When you wake up, what is the first thing that you check? Of course, your smartphone. Yes, that is what we do, and we do practice. But it is important for you to, as a parent, to know that your child is observing you. Your child is somewhere in his mind is believing that you're not giving attention to your child, and you're giving more attention to your work, to your smartphone, and everything that you're doing. And this is the reason why it leads to poor parent-child relationship. And this problem, this issue just starts at a very early age. Spending the quality time with your child is found to be the best therapy of this issue. Parents believe that teachers are doing the great job in the healthy development of their child. Yes, it is true. I have seen parents that child comes from the school and is sent to daycare. Yes, that may be a reason you do not have time to look towards your child. But have you ever thought that teacher or that daycare is really careful for your child? Children need you. God have given children as your responsibility. They are not responsible to teachers. They're not responsible to daycares or anywhere where they are sent. They're responsible to you. And today I would just want you to think that what have you done for your child? What have you given your child? Is that technology or is that Jesus? Is that just happiness or is that the source of happiness that you have given them? Are you mindful for the impacts of technology on your child? And if you are, then try to limit the use of technology by your child. And if you have introduced Jesus to your child, believe me that your child is going to perform a well job in every sector of his or her life. He is going to spend his lifetime with Jesus. Jesus will be his friend. Jesus will be his role model. He will visualize Jesus and he will demand for Jesus. And your child will be more to gain knowledge about Jesus. If this video was really helpful and have changed your perspective towards the use of technology of your child, then I really pray from now, may God intervene in your parenting. And as you change your perspective towards technology and use of technology of your child, you may introduce Jesus to your child, because that's the best thing that you can ever do. Thank you so much for listening to this. I hope that this was really informative and helpful to you. If you would love to read this research, please feel free to contact us. Keep watching A4U TV for more upcoming informative videos. May God bless you.